It's space time! Sorry I took so long making this video. Please make sure to watch the past parts before this one. If you did, how I would adapt Kamen Rider Fourze. I would call it just Masked Rider Fourze because I'm original like that. The plot itself I wouldn't really change too drastically because it is really, really good. And I think it would work for Americans because it was inspired by The Breakfast Club. And the lighthearted nature of Kamen Rider Fourze would, since I am adapting this alongside like Power Rangers and stuff, and it would be airing alongside it, I think this is probably one of the better seasons to like fit in with Power Rangers because of how lighthearted and just fun it is. I would even keep calling it the Kamen Rider Club, even if I changed the name to Masked Rider for the show, because, you know, they're like dorks. You know, you can have otaku references. Like, people ask, why is it called the Kamen Rider Club? And they would respond, well, it's because Kamen Rider means Masked Rider in Japanese, and, you know, it's sounds cool and stuff, you know? The characters, because I really like how Gentaro is this punk kid, but in reality, he's a very nice person whose goal it is to be everyone's friend. Of course, because the format of the show, with 2 seasons for 40 episodes, we have to quickly get through a lot of the switches and introducing the Zodiarts a lot quicker. So, of course, yeah, none of the 2-episode format for this season. And I would actually keep the original idea of Fourze becoming friends with past riders because anniversary season. And we can introduce Masked Rider Shin, who's like the missing link for Edenoids, like the ancient bug people and modern humanoid people. And he was like frozen in space or frozen on Earth somehow, and the Kamen Rider Club unfollows him. Or something like that, I don't know. Them having this kind of E.T., Tarzan, caveman, bug, alien thing running around could be kind of funny in a way. I don't know. Adapt Kamen Rider Fourze and O's Megamax, where like the Kamen Rider Club is teaching people during like Homecoming Week about past riders, and then the past 2 riders, Double and Triple, are there, and Edgy, from the end of his season, he's still looking for a way to fix the Hawk coin and bring back Ankh. We introduced Kamen Rider Nadeshiko as Masked Rider Ramona, and she is now a permanent character, and not just for this adaptation of the movie. And she's like a slime girl, or a Mercurian, like Taizan from Power Rangers Overdrive, because it is a shared universe. Fourze takes place in the same universe as Triple and Double, which is the Prime universe. But then a rider from the future, Aqua, comes back in time on the Denliner to warn people of an incoming Shocker invasion. Evil Dex has reformed Shocker, and he gives Edgy a temporary, like, fake Hawk coin, so he can still turn into Takuba, but he can't resurrect Ankh with it. And then we get a group henshin, and then they find the legendary 7 Masked Riders to help them out. We actually have common footage of Super Tatuba, so we don't have to actually make our own. We also kind of adapt Deno Anno's movie, where Evil Dex, inspired by the bad guy from O's, creates his own greed, the Shocker greed. Evil Dex doesn't turn himself into it, he like turns someone else into it against their will. And we have a big Masked Rider fight. And then at the end, they defeat the Shocker Greed. And Edgy manages to take the coin from the Greed. And he forms Hawk, Imagine, Shaka, Tamashi, Rider, Tamashi. Then O's as Tamashi, Fourze as Cosmic, and Meteor as Meteor Storm defeats some more bigger Shocker monsters. But during the final attack, Evil Dex is like Ultra Diketo and manages to escape into the multiverse again to fight another day. And then we also adapt Kamen Rider Fourze, the movie! Some rogue Shocker robots resurrect the Zodiarts, and it's up to the high school to defeat them. And they get everyone in the school to finally admit to being Gentaro's best friend and flick all the Astro Switches at once, creating the Fusion Switch. But before Glenn is able to activate the Fusion Switch, he's accosted by two monsters. But hey, what's with the curved bullets? It's a wizard. Glenn is like, you don't look like a lizard. And then he's like, no, wizard with a W. And then there's like this whole interaction where Glenn tries calling him a Masked Rider, but Wizard doesn't know what that is because no one's ever called him that before because there aren't any in his dimension. And I know I said I wasn't going to do Wizard for this little series of mine, but I changed my mind because I thought of a way to do it. Anyways, he manages to activate Fusion and he fuses with Meteor. And he defeats the bad guys and saves the day, becoming friends with a giant robot. And yes, Fusion is technically a form he has after his final form, but Cosmic is his final form. It's kind of the weird terminology with Kamen Rider. You just kind of have to go with it. And of course, years later, Glenn becomes a teacher, just like in Kamen Rider Fourze. But what do you guys think? Do you like my ideas for how I would adapt Kamen Rider Fourze? Do you hate them? Have you seen Kamen Rider Fourze? Have your own ideas for how you would adapt? Let me know in the comments below.